Hello, hello, hello. 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 I hope you can hear me. And you can type on the comments if you can hear me. I'm so sorry for taking so long to come on here. And please type in on the comments if you can hear me, if you can hear what I'm saying, because it's been quite a roller coaster here, but all is going on well, hopefully. I'm just checking on my phone whether this is happening correctly. Stephen, I do see you. I do see the 5 viewers, so please type on the comments, let me know whether you can be able to watch this or what's happening on your end. Okay, perfect. So yes, I'm clear. Okay, great. That was something that I never expected to happen. So I'm so sorry about that. And I do hope that, of course, this is a learning curve. I was on Twitter the other time, on Twitter Spaces, and it was a bit different there. So I mean, I think, of course, I can attest to the fact that these things, you know, are a bit foreign to me. But again, I think we need to begin in the interest of time, for sure. And please type in your comments and let me know in case you have any questions as we go on, and so that we can be able to go on. So as you may already see, I'm at home, so please bear with me with what is going on in the background. Of course, the fact that I'm still working from home, and we're all, you know, in a new normal. So thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I do see Kevin. I do see, yes, I see Anyango. Stephen, thank you so much for joining, guys. Yeah, so you know what? The structure of this is going to be very open. So the structure of what is going to happen today is pretty much to captivate what we were talking about before on Twitter Spaces, and pretty much what we've been talking about all this time. So if you're new here, welcome, welcome. My name is Nduta Wambura. I'm the current Erasmus Plus country representative for Kenya. And I love speaking about Erasmus because I am a beneficiary of Erasmus myself. I did my Erasmus between 2015 and 2017. And by then, of course, there were different setups of the funding for Erasmus. And so I did my master's in clinical nutrition in the University of Porto for 2 years, and it was just an amazing experience because all what I am today is because of that experience. So like anyone else, I am from a small village. I come from a village in Mukurweini, Nyeri. So if you know Mukurweini, you possibly know it because it's been famous for quite a number of things. But yes, I do come from Mukurweini, Nyeri, and you know, as it is, of course, the fact that I had come from the village and going into the city, Nairobi city, doing my undergraduate, graduating from my undergraduate in clinical nutrition, actually in food nutrition and dietetics, and then hustling like everybody else in Nairobi. Nairobi is not easy to hustle at all, and you know, hustling there, and of course, trying my way around, working in different hospitals, in different volunteer things. I was also a writer. So like, I mean, I did online writing as well. So that's my truth. So when you see me speak about these things, don't just think that this happened just, you know, all of a sudden. It's something that took a whole load of a process. And I mean, I hustled like everybody else in Nairobi, and the hustle and bustle of Nairobi really, really, really created a fatigue in me. And of course, one of the major reasons why I wanted to actually even get into something different was because I was burnt out. And I mean, the hustle of Nairobi, I cannot even speak enough about it. But the thing is, I was very, very in touch with the international office in Kenya. And the international office in Kenya, that is the international office of Kenyatta University, excuse me. And this international office obviously helped me a great deal, because usually when you are in a certain university, whether that's public or private university, you will definitely be able to see an international cooperation happening. And there is usually a point person within any particular university who, you know, speaks about study abroad. It can be in Europe, it can be Australia, US, wherever else. This is something that usually happens. And I think this is what happened to me. So I used to be very in close contact with the international office, and I had a friend of mine who was there, who introduced me to Erasmus and told me, hey, we have a program that is going on here. Would you be interested, as much as you keep saying that you're done studying? Because I had already done my first degree and also my first master's, an MBA in project management by then, because it makes sense, you know, work-wise. So this person introduced me to Erasmus and took me through and told me, hey, we have a partnership between Kenyatta University and the University of Porto, and we are taking students, and it will be a fully funded program. It will be all systems go. When you apply, just make sure you put in a good application, and then of course, wait for the results, like I keep telling everybody else, and see where this leads you to. So my first time applying, like I keep telling everyone, I never got my Erasmus scholarship. I was put on a reserve list because there was not enough money for that scholarship by then. But then again, you know, I forgot about all that. And the second year it opened again. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put up my application once more. I have nothing to lose. I'm not paying any single cent. And so what I did is I put it up again and waited to see what happens. So the second time is when I got in, and 100%, I was the only student who was taken for a full scholarship from Kenyatta University, which was a great, great blessing for me, because this was a time where, would you imagine, I used to stay in Kahawa, if you guys know, Kahawa Wendani, Kahawa Sukari, one of those. And I used to stay in Kahawa Wendani for sure. And I was working at the Mata Hospital in South B. So you can imagine commuting every single day from Kahawa Wendani to Mata in South B every single day and back. So the traffic, the fatigue, the work, and I used to work in Mukuru kwa Jenga, so you can imagine, I used to actually go on foot to Mukuru to do a food security project. So it was quite a toll on me. So when this opportunity happened, I didn't know anything about Portugal, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna jump on it very fast so that I can have some sort of different sort of life, you know. And I didn't even know anything about Portugal, but there I was, took the opportunity, decided to even start learning the Portuguese language, and here we are today. So I must say that when I keep telling you that just, you know, go ahead and apply for it, you have nothing to lose. This is not something that I'm telling you just because, you know, you want to apply for the scholarship, of course, but it's not something I'm telling you just because I already went through it, but it's because it's something that you can benefit from, whether you've been burnt out, whether you want something different for your life. This is something that you can definitely do. So Erasmus, if you're new here, of course, Erasmus Plus is quite the biggest scholarship network within Europe. And currently, as a Kenyan, what you can do to actually be able to get into a scholarship is, of course, to go ahead and apply for a master's program. And the master's programs currently are, you know, Erasmus Joint Master's Programs. And Erasmus Joint Master's Programs, what that means is that a consortium comes into an agreement whereby they would be able to offer a certain master's And for example, this would be like, I will just share my screen really quick here so that you can be able to see for those who are new, especially because those who are new here or those who might watch this much later usually always kind of sort of ask me a lot of questions. And I'm not saying this that it's a bad thing to keep on asking questions, but the thing is, the information is out there. But I know sometimes it can be a bit difficult to even process it and that kind of thing. So I'm gonna share my screen just for a little bit. Let's see if you can see my screen. Okay. And I'm just gonna share the screen, and you can let me know, of course, if you can see it. And hopefully it's working correctly. And I will just share it so that those who usually ask about the application process can just take a quick look really into it. And if you have any questions, of course, I'm gonna take questions in the last perhaps half an hour of this, just in case you have any specific question. This is something that I am willing to tackle right here and see whether we can be able to assist you with it. So every single time I keep telling you, look at the catalog, look at the catalog. This is the catalog that I am talking about. So this is the EMJD catalog. So what that means is the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree programs, which of course is one of the prestigious programs that you can ever get into, which is usually delivered by an international consortium of higher education institutions. This information there. So one of the things that I would like to for you to pay attention to is every single time you want to know what is an EMJD and why do I want to do it. So over here, when you see read more to find out if an EMJD is for you, and check our frequently asked questions. So this is one of the sections that you definitely want to go ahead and check out. So if you want to know more about an EMJD, this is where you come in and you learn more about an EMJD, whether this is something for you, whether this is something that's not for you. And one of the major questions that is actually asked here is about Erasmus Mundus, you know, the ECTs, credits, and that kind of thing. This is a question that most people ask. So as you can see here already, Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters programs usually provide 60, 90, 120 ECT credits. And this means that they last from a minimum of 12 months to a maximum of 24 months. The majority are 24-month programs. However, some people actually ask about the eligibility criteria when you read about the ECTs. What usually that means is that you have done an undergraduate for at least, say, 3 or 4 years. But this also depends on the program that you're actually applying for. So this is one of the sections that you can obviously come in here and check out and see whether it is something for you. Now, another thing that I want to bring your attention to is the frequently asked questions. And of course, you can tell me if I'm too fast. So the frequently asked questions are about Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters programs again. So like usually over here, this site should be working. Okay, so there we go. So we have the frequently asked questions, 39 of them. And this is going to answer quite a number of questions for you for an Erasmus Joint Master's degree. What is it? Which Erasmus Joint Master degrees are available? Can I interrupt or postpone my Joint Master studies? Where can I find alternative sources of funding for my studies, just in case, you know, something happens and I cannot be able to get into the program and I'm told that maybe I'm on the reserve list? I have 2 nationalities, under which should I apply for an Erasmus Joint Master's degree? You know, all these questions are actually answered here. And in fact, this is one of the most important questions that is asked. You know, people ask, will I receive an Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree scholarship if I'm on the reserve list? So usually the answer is yes, it could happen because the number of EMJD scholarships is limited and the selection is very competitive. That is very true. And good candidates who are, however, not selected for an EMJD scholarship are usually placed on a reserve list, like I was. And depending on the rank you have on the reserve list, if somebody drops off that program, then you might be offered that scholarship in their place. So this usually happens, and in fact, it just happened with one of our students in Kenya. So this is something that you can definitely take a look at and be able to see, you know, in terms of all the questions that might be there, what other question you might be having really is usually in most cases covered through this frequently asked question page. So this is going to be your very good friend. Now, going back to the EMJD catalog, I just want to go through this very quickly just to see, you know, just to give an example, for example, of how to apply for this. So when you come here at the catalog, we have currently 149 listed programs on this catalog. Some of these programs might not even open for application this year. Of course, depending on different logistics, depending on things like COVID, like we have right now, depending on whether they have funding anymore, depending on the agreement that they have and whether or not they might be able to open again. This is something that you can definitely find out when you click on each of the programs. So now, there are two links here that you need to take care of. So in this case, I will use this Erasmus Mundus, which is currently open. So Erasmus Mundus is International Master in Dance, Knowledge, Practice, and Heritage, and the acronym there is Erasmus Mundus. So there are two links that you need to pay attention to. So if you click on this first link, right, and it's gonna open, I'm just gonna close these other two, and it's gonna open on a different tab. And then you can also click on this second link, which is the link that is directly towards the application. So now you have two links. Just a second, let me see whether you guys are on with me. If you can see me, and you can definitely tell me whether you're seeing me, whether you can hear me very well, whether you have any questions, please feel free to say anything. So just a second. Alrighty, so, okay. So I'm going in between both directions because I have the stream on StreamYard as well as YouTube. So you might see different screens. But now, when I opened this, I did open the first link, which was this one. Let me just go back, which was this first link, yeah, and it opened into this this other tab, right? So this tab usually tells you more about this program. What do you need to know from this? Is that this program is going to be funded, or was rather started being funded from the 1st of September 2020, and it's gonna end on the 31st of August 2025, which means that if you're not ready to actually apply for this right now, please pay attention that it's gonna close the funding 25. So that would mean that perhaps they might extend later, perhaps not, depending, of course, on logistics, depending on whether they have enough students already, and several other aspects. So if you want to apply for this, if you're not ready this year, we're in 2021, please note that you only have maybe maybe several other attempts. You have 2022 and 2023, and again maybe 2024 before the program maybe closes for any other applications, because 2024 would possibly be the last year when they would accept for students, because they would be closing on the 31st of August 2025. Their funding would be ending in 2025, okay? So this is something that you can actually check and see, because this is very important information. And then you would also get, the EU grant, how much this project has been granted for, and be able to see the action type and the program, which is Erasmus Plus, of course, the key action being the learning mobility of individuals. Some of them might have of organizations, depending. And of course, the action type being the EMJD that we keep on talking about. Then this is going to give you a quick summary of this program, what Career Mundus is about, where you would be studying, of course, depending on the different countries and the different mobilities that you would be able to choose from, all right? And then it will give you, of course, the website where you need to go ahead and apply for, but I forgot one of the major things here, is the coordinating institution of that program, which for sure this is in France, and of course the partners, the partner institutions of this program. So this is a very crucial thing to know which countries will be participating. In this case, the coordinating institution is in France, right? And then we have Hungary, and we have also the United Kingdom, and we have Norway right there, who will be participating in this program. So which means that you can find a mobility whereby you begin maybe in France and then go into these other different countries, okay? Now, when you open the other link, this is the link that leads you towards the application process, okay? So this is where it will tell you the details about the program, give you the contact information and all the things that you need to read about. And in every one of the websites that you would go for any Erasmus program, you will always find a frequently asked question section, and also contact information. And this contact information is very important because this is where, just in case you have any question, this is, for example, for this Career Mundus, it would be careermundus.staps@uca.fr. This would be very crucial for you in case you do have any questions that you would like for them to be answered ahead of time. And also, they usually stipulate the alumni, and in most of the links that I have gone through, you might also find a social link. Maybe it's a link to Facebook or a link to maybe Instagram, and you can be able to even, for instance, here, if you check the alumni, they have, let's see what's going on here, just stipulating the events that they might have in the future. Some of them usually have the images of alumni and some people that you might be able to actually contact, but that is of course dependent on the type of program that you're applying for. And then of course here you will find the mobility, because this is something that is very crucial right now. So the mobility for this one is whereby Career Mundus students follow a course of studies in 4 universities that comprise the Career Mundus consortium. And in this case, semesters 1 and 2, which is autumn and spring, you would be, all students follow an induction and short intensive course in Clermont-Ferrand. So this is absolutely, I think, in France. So all the students who will go through this program have to have their first semester in Clermont-Ferrand. So, and then of course, the summer between semesters 2 and 3, students can carry out fieldwork in a location of their choice. And then semester 3, all students live in Clermont-Ferrand, study at UCA. And then semester 4, all students live in London and study at UR. So this program is really good, because you would be moving with, the group of students that you met initially. And of course, you can form some good partnerships, some good, friendships and all that kind of thing, and move together, which is something that is actually very crucial, when you're moving from one country to the other, because you're not alone in terms of maybe even looking for visas for the next country. For example, if you're moving out of the EU and now going to the UK, now looking for that visa might be a bit of a hassle, but then again, when you're together, at least it makes things much easier. But then this is for this program. Some of the programs, different students are able to choose different kinds of things and different kinds of mobilities, which is something, again, of importance to notice. And then, of course, from each of the program, you can be able to find out the consortium details. And like we said here, this program is being coordinated from the University of Clermont in France. And this is the university that you would need to contact just in case there's something that you would want to be helped in, just in case you're also applying for this particular program. So this is, again, very, 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 very crucial information for you to be able to know who is the consortium, who is this committee, who is actually coming together to make possible the Erasmus Mundus program. So this is one of the most crucial information that you have to notice every time you actually apply for EMJD. So of course you will come here and choose whichever the program that you would like. And another question that people always ask is that they come here, they put in the keywords, maybe they want to study business or engineering or whatever it is. So they come here, put in the keyword business. And then, some of them will be like, oh, it's just one program for business, you see? And this program that is showing up with business is European Master of Science in Sustainable Food System Engineering, Technology, and Business. And then you're like, oh, these guys don't even have anything to do with business, right? And you'll be frustrated and you'll be like, okay, Jane, I don't see anything to do with business. So what I can tell you, when you come to this catalog, I know some people have definitely mentioned this, that it is a bit tedious, but what I can say is to go one by one. Just keep on reading, down, 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 because some of the things that you might find here, the program, the name of the program might put you like, you're like, okay, there's nothing to do here. But what I can say is just scroll through. So for example, if we are looking for something to do with, say, we want to do something to do with business, like I mentioned before, so we would keep scrolling. Stay with me on this one. We are scrolling together so that you can find something that would be interesting in the field of business. So let's see. I would go to the page where it says something to do with, let's see, like for example, global markets, local creatives. So the global program, for example, could be accepting people with a business background. And let's say something else. Okay. Stay with me. I'll be with you on the comment section just in a minute. So, all right. So this one might not, maybe we will definitely check it, but maybe could not be very attractive for somebody who is in business. Maybe they want to just stay with business and not food systems or anything of the sort. Okay, and then let's go. This is just an example. There are different ways of looking for these programs, let me tell you. So this is just one of the examples that you can actually do. It's quite simple, but this is something that you can keep just reading and seeing which one looks like something that you can do. Okay, and I know it's quite a long catalog, so I'm just quickly doing it. Okay. Let's see, integrated, solid, okay. Already, okay. Yeah, we can look at Master in Law and Economics, so perhaps they are actually looking for people with a business background. Okay, one other one. I'm just gonna, because you have to apply for at least a maximum of 3 programs. Okay, so okay, this could also be another one. Erasmus Mundus Masters in Global Studies. So perhaps maybe they also are looking, but we can definitely confirm. Okay. Page number 7 already. So Masters in African Studies. Then we have in film, digital communication, circular economy, one of my favorites. Okay. And I guess we are already at the last page, and that's page number 8. And see. All right. Urban studies, social work, food and environmental already. So we are at our very end. So what I'll say, excuse me. Now we have five of the programs open here. So we have local. And so local here, what we are looking for here is to find out the eligibility criteria. So you'll be here. And so what we are looking for here is to entry requirements. Okay. And so here it says that, okay, all right. Academic background requirements, this is what we are looking for. So in this case, we accept applications from a variety of backgrounds within the social sciences, business majors. So if you are a business person, this can be one of your programs. Humanities and languages. However, a strong background in history, economics, political science, development studies, or business is preferred. So local can be one of your actual, programs that you apply for already, right? Because again, here they say applicants who have previously studied economics or business or management are also welcome to apply to these study tracks, so long as they can evidence some wider interest. So of course, here it has the study track, or what they call the mobility, in other words, for which you can choose which pathway you want to go and have, in the different countries. So this is one of the programs that could be a good fit for a business person. Now we opened another one, European Master of Sustainable Food Systems, Engineering, Technology, and Business. All right, so what we are looking for again here is the admission criteria, and we are looking at, let's see. All right, so this program is for whom? Non-EU graduates as well as EU graduates, of course, intending to follow or develop their careers in food science, technology, and business. So, I mean, of course, in business, there are different facets. So, for example, if you want to pursue this type of field where that involves food science, technology, and the business side of it, perhaps this is something that you can also look into and see whether you are a best fit for it. Again, I keep saying, keep reading all the nitty-gritties, and you can even check the modules that will be taught here. So here, it's if you also have a food science, background, or you have been working in food science or something of the sort, this is something that you can also check. So you'll be able to see the food science fundamentals, the module 1, and optional courses that you would be taking, so that you can have a clear aspect of whether this is something for you. So because here we have business and economics in food industry. So this is somebody who is in the food industry, but is also interested in the business aspect of it. So this would be a good fit again for perhaps somebody, like I said, someone with a business, interest, but has also a food science background. All right, so now when you come to European Master in Law and Economics, of course, this says a lot to do with law and economics. So I'm just here to fact find to see whether this is something that would be good for somebody in business. Again, this is something that you would definitely be able to do. And here it would say, let's see who this course is for. Okay. I'm looking for applicants. Let's see. Okay. Okay, requirements. All right, so this one is very specific. So educational qualifications in this case would be a law or economics degree. And the other degrees, application with other degrees other than law may also apply under the condition that the completed study program includes a substantial number of courses in law and or economics, and or you can show your motivation to study the economic analysis of law convincingly in your letter of motivation. So if you're in doubt whether your degree qualifies or you have further questions regarding qualification, contact info@emle.org. Very crucial information once again. So for example, if you did a business course and maybe it had like an economics sort of thing going on, and maybe you have been, having a very great interest in economics, then this could perhaps be a good fit for you. Again, this is another example. Then going to the other example here for European Master in Global Studies. In this case, again, I'm looking for the there. Admission and selection criteria. So here we have a 3-year bachelor's degree or the recognized equivalent from accredited institutions in the humanities or social sciences with a minimum of 15% of global studies relevant courses, excellent English skills, and okay. All right, so in this case, here, this is fully just for global studies. So this has nothing to do with business at all. And finally, we have the last one. I want this in English, please. Okay, so I'm trying to find out what is going on here. Let's see. This was for, okay, we want this in English. I believe this was for a certain program. I can't quite remember. Let's see. This is for, okay, studies. I can't remember this program. Which one was this one? But whichever the case, you get the point that I was saying, that already right now, you can, as a business person, if depending on how, what type of business you've been carrying out and what your interests have been, already you have like this program right here. You can also seek, if you have a business background and maybe you've been having an interest in food systems, engineering and that kind of thing, this is another program that you could actually fit in. If you also have a business, degree or whatever it is, but it had like an economics, actually an economics degree, and you had this type of interest in the law or economics, or you can show that you have a motivation to study the economic analysis of law very convincingly, which comes again to the fact that you need to write a very good motivation statement or your personal statement, then this could be, again, a program that could fit in. And again, it's very important to just contact the consortium. Again, they said here, please contact this email, and they actually do reply. So feel free. Don't be afraid to actually contact them. And again, this one was just global studies, which was, this is neither here nor there because they do not accept people who have a business related background. So this was just an example to show you how this usually works. And so I'm just going to stop sharing my screen here so that I can check again with you. Following. Yes. Victor Okeri, Seth Onyono. Yes, welcome. And just to be able to show you exactly, how easy it can be to apply, because again, once you read everything, once you read the requirements that are needed, once you maybe have contacted the consortium, once maybe you have even spoken to somebody who you found on the social network of that program, and maybe this person is ready to even read through your personal statement or your motivation statement, or even read through your application, application process, or maybe just take you through, give you a few nitty-gritties here and there. We currently do have, an upcoming mentorship program that will happen, and I have been receiving quite a number of responses from you. And also we do have some mentors on board, people who've been through the program from Kenya and even outside. So this is something that I'm going to close on Monday. So if you have not applied for it, you better apply for it before the end of this week, because I will close those applications on Monday, so that you can be able to speak to somebody who's been through that program and can be able to even assist you, or even someone who has gone through another program and they can just be able to give you a few pointers here and there, so that you can be able to apply for a good, do a good application rather. That's what I mean. So now, I want to go straight into your chat to see whether anyone who has questions, anyone who has something to say, please type it in on the comments. I know we are only 7 people here, but I hope that we can have people watching this back and getting some sort of assistance. So if you have any questions, please type it in. If you have a question, we do have 20 minutes until I close this live streaming. And I would be happy to answer any one of them. However, I do have some questions that came in for me. I have loads of questions every single time. So one of them would be about the English tests, which is very, very recurrent. Like every single time someone is asking about the English test, whether they have to actually do it. And I will say this. So the English test is quite crucial. If a program is asking for that English test, please go ahead and do it. So I know, like for instance, if somebody did this English test, say a maximum, I think, of 2 years, somebody might correct me for sure, like the IELTS test. If you did it 2 years back, you can still use that certificate that you got. However, you can check any of the programs, because some programs may waive that English test, especially if you show them that you have been actually maybe studying in English or have been speaking in English for quite a long period of time. So this is something that you can actually go ahead and ask them whether they can waive. But it's very dependent on a program. Some programs might not even require the English test, which is a blessing in its own, right? But if you're looking to apply for a program, I would say the first thing to check is the admission criteria. What are the requirements that are needed for you to be able to actually go for that program, right? And this is stipulated very well on each of the websites that you will go through. And what you need to do is obviously to ensure that you can prepare ahead of time. The first thing, of course, to have is definitely a passport. So if you don't have a passport, I don't know what you're trying to do, but you need to get it as soon as yesterday, and be able to actually, go to your house and make your applications. Like right now, I do believe there's not much of a big queue going on. I might be wrong for sure, 100%, but you can always go to places like Embu or places which are not as crowded to be able to get your passport done. So this is something that you definitely have to do. If it's the English course that you need to do, prepare ahead of time. I know it's quite a number of, amount of money that you have to pay. However, think of this as an investment. This is an investment that you can use towards applications even in the future. It doesn't have to be now. As much as maybe the English test might take too long for you and you're not on time to apply for an Erasmus program, the good thing about Erasmus is that there's no age limit, which means that you can definitely be able to apply for the next year, the next coming year, and be able to even come into the program for, the 2 years. So, I mean, you do have quite a long period of time depending on the program. And I showed you how to check how long a program has some funding, okay? Some programs might be closing due to things like COVID. This information is actually posted on each of the websites. So please feel free to go ahead and check on that. As well, if you are you've not yet joined the Facebook group, usually I send in quite a number of links, for other programs that could fit in your profile. Because sometimes maybe you might find that, hey, I don't see any program that would fit me or for Erasmus, or maybe some people might have told me before that, hey, I've been put on reserve list, but I really do need to study this program. How can you assist me? So find new funding. I mean, these links that I usually send on Facebook are for that. These are alternatives as well. And also, the fact that you would be able to even have the certificate ready for applications even in the future, whether that's Erasmus, whether that's another EU program, it could be even in the UK, depending. So take that as an investment. So sometimes people might feel that this is a bit too much of a cost. I do know it's quite a lot of cost, yes, but then again, consider it as an investment. This is something that is going to change your life for sure. But make sure that you read the requirements ahead of time, such that you're not rushing at the very last minute for that. And then before I can take another question, maybe, I don't know, I can see the charts here. Let's see. All right, so now I'm going to check another question I have here. I'm just reading from my phone right here. Okay. So I am a prospective student for a master's program, and I'm hoping to take advantage of the Erasmus Plus opportunities. Having gone through the website for the different programs, I would be eligible for 2022 intakes, and I want to get prepared well in advance. I would like to get some information and your insights on, again, this is another, they asked several questions. So one of them was English proficiency test. Even though I took an undergraduate taught in Kenya, that is something that I definitely answered. Would it be better to have multiple applications, or should I just focus on the particular course I'm interested in? This is something I think I have already answered. You can apply up to 3 programs on the website. And then again, any advice or key insights to consider? And usually any advice or key insights to consider is just to put your best foot forward. That is what I can say. The quality of your application really matters, So, I mean, you just don't go there and put up, an application you've not had maybe any sort of, someone else, even if it's your friend, reading through your personal statements, maybe it has some mistakes, because the personal statement is something that I usually talk about a lot on another platform as well. A personal statement has to be really straightforward. If they ask for 1,000 words, it's 1,000 words. Usually with the Erasmus programs, it will be maybe 300 to 500 words. Some programs might give you some good headlines that would be guidance towards your application. However, if a program does not give you any highlights, then if they ask for 500 words, it's 500 words. It's not 700 words, it's 500 words. So do not use flowery language. Do not go using, don't want to go to Nairobi through the north of Kenya and then back to Nairobi. If they say it's straightforward, be very straightforward, because the European Union also, the way the European Union universities do their things is that if you follow the rules, then you're good to go. If you are not following the rules, then somebody is not even going to look into your application twice. Remember, again, when you're writing a personal statement or a motivation statement, this is a statement that is on paper that is actually introducing yourself to somebody who does not know you at all. Okay, so you're introducing yourself to somebody who's never met you, who's like, in this committee and has been tasked to find good candidates to fund for 2 years. So it's very competitive. Remember, this person may be reading quite a number of applications from all over the world. So why you? And when people say, oh, it's because I've been going through so much problems, etc., Like poverty porn, that is something that I always say, please do not put in words that show a very sad state of affairs. Show what you've been doing. Fine, you're in a sad state of affairs, but what have you been doing about it? Are there any maybe volunteer opportunities that you have been actually doing? What have you been doing with your background of education? What have you been doing with the background of maybe the limitations that you are trying to show on that personal statement? This is something that is very crucial. And so a personal statement, in many words, if you forget everything that I might say on this conversation, is for you to structure your personal statement into one, the introduction, right? So you put in your introduction, and perhaps this is a session that we could have maybe in the future. The introduction, and then the second paragraph is to stipulate what you have been doing that puts you or sets you apart towards this type of program. And then, of course, stipulating what education that you have had that, of course, gives you a higher stake. And then, of course, to tie it in with what are you going to do with this program? Why? If you come to Europe, you have to come to Europe to gain these skills. Are you coming to benchmark? Are you coming to maybe do some sort of research? Why are you actually coming to study in Europe? And what are you going to do about it? Is there maybe an SDG gap that you want to bridge back in your country? Is there something that you want to do about maybe academia? Maybe you want to teach in the future. Maybe this program is to set you apart for a PhD. These are things that you have to stipulate very clearly. And what I keep saying, a personal statement is a statement to sell yourself. Don't be cocky on the statement, of course, but sell yourself to somebody who's never met you before and tell them why you're the best candidate. So what I usually say is take a piece of paper, take a notebook, write every single thing about yourself. What are some of the highlights that you have been through in your life, whether you even just graduated? What are some of the highlights that you have? Every single one of us have some sort of highlights. So this is something that you also would need to pay a very good attention into. And I think we're going to have a session about that. So I will take your questions. I know we have just a few minutes now. Okay, so all right, following, very informative. Thank you so much for staying. Timothy Mambo says, thank you for clarifying the issue concerning ECTs. That business course global program applies to you. Perfect. Please go for it. I hope to see you applying for it. Oliver says, a librarian, also my mentor from my university, knows me more than my lecturers do, should I list this person as one of my referees, or should I list my referees strictly as lecturers? So, in terms of the referees, this is somebody who knows you very well. So yes, you can definitely stipulate your librarian as one of your referees, as long as you possibly speak to them ahead of time, let them know you're trying to apply for this program, you're trying to get this going, and so they can write a good statement for you. Some of them might even ask you to write a structure of the statement, and then maybe they can just maybe sign it up or type it up for you. So this is something that you can definitely do. So yes, you can list your librarian as one of your referees. Sometimes it doesn't have to be all lecturers. However, some programs stipulate something different depending on the type of program that you're actually applying for. So be very keen on that. But I do believe that a librarian would also be somebody who is in the institution and knows you and has known your journey. Please ensure that whoever the referee that you're looking for is somebody who actually knows you, and somebody who is going to write a statement or can ask you to structure a statement that's not biased, and a statement that obviously is going to assist you for an application meaningfully. So yes. Okay, so the other question here is, are the GMAT or GRE exams compulsory? Well, not necessarily. So again, it depends on the program, because usually some of these things, when I say it depends on the program, it really does depend on the programs, because not all Erasmus programs actually ask for the GMAT or the GRE for you to be able to actually apply for it. In fact, what I know is that some of the GMAT or the GRE, exams that would be asked in this case would be for programs even in the US. Within Europe, not necessarily so. But of course, be able to check that, because again, some programs that might be even new might have different stipulations. So this is something that you would also need to check and see whether it's being requested for. So it's not compulsory. All right. Final question before we can close this stream is, my program says that I can provide 2 academic referees. Does the librarian qualify as one? Yes, and you can justify this, of course, by saying that this is a librarian, this is somebody who, has been able to see me through a certain sort of, there has to be a story, because you cannot just go and ask a librarian, somebody just say hi to every single time, because this is somebody that has to be already certified by the institution as the official librarian of that institution for them to be an academic person. Whichever the case, in this case, for you to be on the safe side, I would say go look for a lecturer, or go look for maybe a supervisor, somebody who's supervised you over your courses in the university. I don't know which course you did, Oliver, but this is something that you can check. Please, to be on the safe side, if the program actually asks for an academic referee, please make sure that you can be able to, get some lecturers going. All right. Sorry about that. So I think we have all our bases covered here. And this was just a do-over of the Twitter Spaces that we had the other day, and we had quite a lot of issues with the technical issues. Some people could not hear. Somebody could, some of them would not even get what I was saying. But I do hope that this forms a sort of a basis. I do hope that we can be able to get lots of other live streams for which people can rewatch. I want to make them as short as 1 hour, because some people might not have the patience of watching 2-hour live streams. And I do hope that you have gotten something from this, depending on where you are at within your application. Please let me know. Looking forward, we will definitely look into having live streams for people who, for different programs. So I'm in talks to see what is viable here and what is more, more enriching, because it's just one way to talk about apply for that program. But then again, some people are like, okay, you're telling me to apply for it. Please walk me into the application process, because I cannot get anything from this. So again, I do hope that you get some sort of basis, or you get some sort of motivation from this live stream. And I hope to see you. If you have not joined the Facebook group, on our, I'm just going to put it right here on the comments section. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, then you can join in right there. And be able to follow through all the things that we tend to talk about there. I tend to post every single other day. I actually schedule those posts ahead of time so that you guys can be able to get them. Please feel free to join the group. I'm just going to post it on the comments right here. If you're new, please join the group. Be able to interact with everybody else who is on the group, and get your questions answered, and get to have some sort of community going, so that we can have more people actually applying for these programs from Kenya. I do hope to see an increase in the numbers within the next years, and I do hope to see that we can have some sort of more people getting interested, whether these people are within their universities or they're just about to complete their 4th year. That is something that I would love to see. So again, if there's no other question right here, I do hope that this has been of help to you. And I do hope to see you sometime very soon, hopefully very, very, very soon. And of course, you can always send in whatever the live stream ideas that you would like us to have more. I do already in talks with some of the programs to see whether they can avail themselves for short webinars and short question and answer sessions. So we'll see about that. So wherever you are, I do hope that you have a lovely evening or a lovely morning or whichever it is, lovely afternoon, and see you soon.